This is the 20th season of Bass Talk Live. BTL is presented by Bass Cat Boats, Strike King Lures, AFTCO, Pro Guide Batteries, Spro, Gamakatsu, The Bass Tank, Denali Rods, Beatdown Outdoors, and Sunline.
BTL coming at you.
Good morning, and welcome to another exciting edition of BTL Bass Talk Live, where we are going to talk about bass fishing. We have reached the point of the 2024 season. I do not know where it has gone, but it is the final stop of the 2024 BPT season out of Messina, St. Lawrence River, big smallmouth. I think the big question this year with the BPT is how much the largemouth will play, and whether Alton Jr., Dustin, or Drew Gill can knock off Jacob Wheeler. We got a good show today, good guest. I mean, it's actually a recorded show. I'm actually in Scotland right now. I think today is my second day on Loch Ness. It's supposed to be in Loch Ness. I don't think I told you that, Justin. What's up?
What up, dude?
How are you doing? Get just like scoot in just a little bit closer so we can hear and it's a little less echoey. I know you're like making improvements though. Like you have an office now. I think the last time you were on BTL, you weren't in the office.
Yeah, it was an old kid's bedroom. So we moved like I don't know, maybe a month and a half ago.
Oh, so you're no longer in the same house, huh?
Not the same house. We're only about 10 minutes away. But yeah, anyway, when Bree and I got married, we built that house. Got married, moved in like the week after, and then we've been there for 12 years. So
yeah, dude, you had that tackle room dialed in. You got the same kind of tackle room?
I did the exact same thing. I just added 20 feet. I'm looking at my shop out the window there, but I added 20 feet in length so I could fit the truck and boat and still have some space behind it. So same exact thing though.
So truck and boat can be hooked up, backed into the garage. So all you have to do is lift up the garage. And then how close are you to the ramp at Gunnersville? Like how close?
I have a ramp like a mile away here. So
you can be in the garage, like sipping on coffee or eating a steak, and then be on the water literally 5 minutes later.
That's right. Like super, super easy, dude. So yeah, it was cool. We have 2 kids now, so we were outgrowing the other house a little bit and just wanted to change. But I'll tell you what, man, moving that's not fun. Like I've always heard that from people and everything. And when we moved in together, it was just her and I, and like she got out of college and brought her stuff. And I had very little from California that I moved out here. And so it was really easy when we moved into our first house that we built. But then we accumulated everything for 12 years and had kids, and it's way, way tougher. I probably should have hired people, but I'm too cheap, dude. So.
That's what I said. You're almost $2.5 million into this thing in earnings. I think you can hire someone to come box your stuff up and take it to the new digs.
I always wish they put an asterisk there. Minus 500,000 in entry fees. That'd be nice,
Yeah, but you had you still have you have big time sponsors. Yeah, like Econo Lodge where you splurged on the fun for a couple of years there.
Yeah.
That was big dollars. I mean, dude, you've always had like a couple like really key non-endemics that I think could cover the moving costs.
I've been fortunate, but my buddy was moving around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
He got a quote. His house was a little bigger than ours. He got a quote for like white glove service, right? Come in, don't touch
anything.
Yeah. And it was like 15 grand or something.
Holy cow, just to move stuff?
Yeah, dude. And when he told me that, like, I'm not even gonna get some quotes. Like,
I'm in the wrong industry.
Myself. I'm like, that's 1.5 checks, man. That's 1.5 top 40s on the BPT. So I'm gonna do it myself, and it was a good workout. We'll say that. And it took a few days longer than I thought it would.
But a couple things that I liked about your past tackle garage studio deal was you had like the fans above the
Yeah.
boat so you could open up the rod boxes, turn the fans on, and get jerk. Is that new? Do you still have that in the new one?
Yeah, so we did the same thing in the new one. Did slat wall, across the whole thing, and of course have the fans heated and cooled. I have an epoxy floor in this one, so that's pretty
Okay.
cool. And then
With a drain?
I do have a drain in the floor.
Ooh, that's
I,
key.
I don't have running water out there. I don't have a bathroom or anything, but I mean, dude, for me, it's four, or three walls and a garage door, but it works. It's very efficient for packing for tournaments. And people always ask about like why I haven't done a drive-through garage. But then you lose a whole wall space, right? You lose
That's
that
true.
whole back wall to put stuff on. So I've always been kind of out on that. Cool idea, but not efficient in my opinion.
Who in the professional bass fishing game has the best tackle room, boat, truck storage setup? Like, who among your peers do you look at and go, yeah, that's badass?
Probably Ott.
Really?
I think Ott's setup's pretty legit. Yeah, but
I have not seen Ott
I
set
mean,
up.
I like mine a lot too. So
Yeah.
you know, everybody's got to do what works for them. Everybody's a little different.
I
But
mean, I still think you've got guys at the top level who are renting like the 10 by 30 storage unit.
yeah, that's crazy to me.
And
Dude.
then you have guys who have 3,000 square foot shops that are completely decked out with 3 or 4 boats in it. You got guys who use like the family garage. It is crazy how, but I mean, I know for a fact there are guys who fish at the top level who go drop it off at the old locker store every single time that they want to get it.
Yeah, that would be tough for me, man. Like I really got to have my stuff close. I got to have it dialed in. I can't even hardly go fishing unless my shop and everything is clean. Like
I would
probably
never fish.
probably a bad habit to
I
have.
would never make it to the lake if I had to have my stuff organized.
Oh, dude, Jordan. I mean, you should see Jordan Lee. Like that guy. He's the best fisherman I know. But just you open his truck door. I've always said, you got Twinkies and Mountain Dews falling out and whatever,
Mhm.
all kinds of stuff. So
Jeff Crete was the original never organize anything guy on tour, I think.
who was
Like
that?
Jeff Crete.
Yeah,
Crete's famous for that.
yeah. I never really hung out with Crete, so I didn't know. But
Oh yeah.
I'm amazed. I'm amazed those guys can catch fish like they do, because I would go insane.
All right. Speaking of catching fish, there's a little bit more fish catching left to do in the regular season. Now, I think you guys have team series stuff that goes through the fall and into the winter. But as far as the bread and butter, the BPT, there's one event at the time of this recording. Practice starts next week.
Got a 6-year-old gonna get in trouble. Sorry.
God, I can't believe he's already 6.
Yeah, no, he's about to be 7. Tell me
That's
about
wild.
it. But I was listening to you. Go ahead.
No, that blows my mind. Then he loves fishing too, right?
All about it, man.
Dude, that's
Bluegill
awesome.
Slayer. I'll tell you that.
Literally 10 years away from being on tour. How's that feel?
Yeah, yeah. Hey,
I'm not kidding.
the way Scopin's going, he might be there when he's 13, dude.
Anyway, little bit of fishing left. At the time of this recording, you are just about to leave to begin practice up at Thousand Islands out of Messina for the final stage of the BPT that Jacob Wheeler goes into with a fairly, I would say it's a fairly commanding lead with only 79 anglers on the BPT. I believe it's a 19-point lead over Alton Jones Jr., Dustin Connell in 3rd, and Drew Gill in 4th. You're currently in 7th right now with a 71-point gap. But just talk a little bit about that fishery where you have had a lot of success on, and then the dynamics of the every fish counts, will largemouth play, and how does it change things going out of Messina, which is a long way from the lake, which I'm assuming is off limits based on how many BPT guys I've seen on Lake Ontario proper over the last couple days.
Yeah, Lake Ontario is off limits. It always has been for us. I don't really understand why, but whatever. It's okay. We are going out of Messina. It's a long, long ways away. And I think based off past history, I feel like, obviously, I think the tournament might be starting the day this airs, but I feel like
Mhm.
that Chippewa Bay, Alex Bay, Clayton area with our format is going to be the dominating area. It's the widest open, most open part of the river, biggest population, in my opinion. So I think that that area is just going to be a player. That's where I'm going to go and practice. I'm going to spend all my time in that area, and hopefully it'll pay off. I'm not going to largemouth fish, dude. I'm not even bringing a largemouth rod. So
Really?
everything I am doing is large or smallmouth fishing. I don't even want to. I don't even want it in the back of my mind. I feel like if I put a frog rod in there, put a punching rod in there, like I'll be thinking about that stuff when I'm not getting bit in practice, and it'll make me want to go try it. And I just don't feel like you can win our event. And fortunately enough, I'm locked in heavy hitters. I'm locked in red crest, so I don't have to even think about it or worry about the largemouth, which is a good feeling.
Your finishes this year are incredibly good. 27th, 10th, 8th, 20th, 5th, and 19th. Uh, we just had Alec Morrison on earlier this year. I'd like to get your thoughts on him a little bit later too. But with him and Jake Lawrence, the battle that they had for the Angler of the Year with what Wheeler and Connell are doing on the BPT, you're seeing the same thing kind of going on the Elite Series at the top. Have you ever seen a period of your career where there are more dominating anglers that are just racking out an insane amount of top tens after top tens after top tens? It seems like, man, if you're not in contention to win every single week, you have no chance at Angler of the Year, which used to be consistent, make cuts, couple top tens, have a shot to win one. Now, man, you got to be like top three every freaking week, it seems. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Wheeler, kind of started that trend over the past few years. And, Jacob is whatever, 31, 32 now, whatever he is. And now you got the young guys, that are coming up and they're seeing that and they're just getting better, learning how, he's done it, he's doing it, and they're picking up at that at a, really young age. And dude, I mean, it's a thing too where they understand the technology better than everybody else, and they're constantly using it, uh, rightfully so. And I'm not saying anything bad about that. They just understand it better, and they can beat everybody pretty badly every week with it. And until everybody else catches on to what they understand about the technology, you're going to have that, those few groups of guys that are just going to be dominating.
I mean, you're right there with them. You have not, I think, outside of
Might be the oldest one now.
yeah, you might be the oldest one, but I don't know if you're looking at your stats, but I think you have one finish below 40th in the past 2 years of competition. And that includes heavy hitters, Red Crest, the BPT, and the invitationals. Against that strong of a field, do you feel like you've ever been fishing better in your career? And let's even throw in your Angler of the Year season on the Elite Series, or are you right now at the peak of your game when it comes to Justin Lucas?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like the year I won Angler of the Year was that, of course, dude, that was really hard to beat. And it was before forward facing. So it's hard for me to compare, how I'm fishing right now compared to back then, because it is different, dude. I use forward facing so much now, probably have caught, I don't know, 80% of my fish this year, pretty much everywhere except the Chowan River. I've caught fish on forward facing sonar. And so I would say 75 or 80% of the fish. And I knew that that was going to be something that I needed to work on this off season. I've been using forward facing since 2020, so it's not a new technology or anything for me. But I just feel like you have to fine tune your skills with it and get better. So I spent a lot of time this off season with it, and I feel like that paid off for sure. but I still feel like there's work to do. And I don't feel like I'm topping out or maxing myself out or anything like that. I still feel like there's definitely room for improvement, which is
Like
exciting.
where?
That's exciting for me.
Where? Talk about where you feel like you need to improve.
Just efficiency using it, efficiency, practicing, just all that stuff, right? Like showing up to a body water, getting it dialed in quick, using technology, forward-facing technology to see what the fish are doing, and then maximizing practice to find the most amount of spots, so that you never run out of anything in the tournament. Pretty much is the deal. Not saying I agree with it all. I'm just saying that I got to use it, you know, in that way, to continue to get better with it.
How good are the best in the world with it?
I can't even explain it, because like when I think I'm pretty good with it, they'll catch them in scenarios that just blow my mind. So yeah, they are the guys that understand it. It's like seems like there's about 10 to 20 guys, I guess, somewhere in there that
In the world.
yeah, in the world that truly understand it, and you're seeing it,
They kind of hang out with each other too, which is even more dangerous.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I think they do. I don't really know. I don't know, dude.
You see what happened on the invitationals?
I hang out with Chris and Bobby Lane, so I'm. I hang out with, two of the most.
That is dangerous. The last time I saw them together, Chris was trying to catch a rabid raccoon with a pool skimmer.
That does not surprise me.
And he caught it and then didn't know what to do with it after that, but the raccoon was not a happy camper.
Yeah, I hear you. Here's my thing, dude. I'll share with you my two opinions that I've kind of had driving home from the Chowan River.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't catch any fish there on forward facing. I caught a couple, but it wasn't my deal. And I just really enjoyed that tournament. It felt so good, like not catching fish, looking at my screen. And so I don't know what the answer is. I don't know where we're going to go with it. I've stayed away from having an opinion about it. But I just have two simple opinions, and I don't know the answers for it. But I'll share them with you. I haven't shared them anywhere else, just talking with guys or whatever. But the first one is that, and you can argue with me if you want. It's fine.
Nope.
But the first one is that there's no other sport that I've been able to think about where newcomers coming in can use technology to beat the guys that have been there for years ahead of them, whether that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 years. The technology is limited so that the playing field, is whatever you want to call it, fair or equalized, whatever. I can't think of another sport. If you can think of another sport where young guys are using technology, coming in and winning at young ages, dominating, you got a little smirk on your face like one. But
no, I was thinking
it's really hard to think of, right? Like
a little bit with some different ball materials and two-handed bowling. There's been a lot of backlash as far as that. Like there are some guys that they use. I can't remember, like not a resin or composite ball, but and then when Belmo and a couple of the two-handed bowlers came in, a lot of the traditionalists were like, well, you're a polyurethane, I think, ball, but it's not anywhere near what it's been in fishing. So that's a valid point. All right, keep going.
Yeah, so that's my one opinion, right? Like, because it used to be a big deal if you were 21, 22 and you won a Toyota or a Bass Open, and now it's expected, right? And now you look at the top 10 in the points on both tours, myself included. I'm throwing myself in there as a scoper, and I'm just like, man, this ain't right. Like, so that leads to my other point, and my other point is, or my other opinion is, if we're gonna protect history of the sport, 50 years, obviously Angler of the Year is special to me because I won it. But it was always special before that. Growing up in California, you had to be versatile fisherman. I watched Skeet win it, Aaron win it. So Angler of the Year was always, you know, a really special thing to me. And the history of Angler of the Year and the stories for 50 years about it were always about versatility. This person won because of versatility. He was able to catch them spotted bass in 70 feet of water, flipping largemouth and toolies, you know, out in the Delta, and then, you know, he's in the swamp, whatever, however you want to say it. Then he has to go wherever else. So for me, that that versatility is gone. Like, you have to be versatile with one tool, maybe, but Angler of the Year, no doubt. And I've talked to the top guys about this. Like, it is based on one tool now, and if you can't use that tool extremely well, you know, it doesn't matter how versatile you are as a fisherman, you cannot win Angler of the Year. So that's my only two opinions about it. I'm not saying they're right, not saying they're wrong, and I don't know the answer. But man, I just want to see some thought given into those two things. And you tell me. I mean, do you feel like I'm wrong on that, or do you feel?
I mean, dude, you're a Angler of the Year with $2.5 million in earnings, who's a perennial top 10 contender. I think that you've been there and done that, and that your opinion is exceptionally valid.
I feel like it's not. I feel like my opinion doesn't matter, but it's
No,
all.
it does. So I would also like to get your opinion. So obviously there's hot baits. Remember what happened when Thrift and those guys kind of blew up the chatterbait with Ron Davis. Before that, you want to go way back, the Sluggo was kind of the precursor to the Cinco. So it's not, you know, then the Alabama rig hit the scene. So it's not like there haven't been dominating baits over the course of fishing history.
Yeah.
But right now, in my 15 years of covering this, and you're on the water, and you know, I fish all 9 of the opens and jackpots and all sorts of stuff, but I've never seen so many top anglers utilize the jig head minnow the way that they're doing right now. I would like you to go back your West Coast roots. You're all about this type of stuff. Have you ever seen one bait that is so dominant yet simultaneously so versatile across a plethora of fisheries and conditions?
No, I haven't seen one that, you know, like you said, across all the conditions, different fisheries, everything, that can win tournaments at the level and pace that it's winning tournaments at. That's what blows my mind. Is it doesn't matter if it was Table Rock Toyota Championship this last fall, Toledo Bend, you know, wherever you go, it seems like that thing is going to be a player. Like, I made the mistake, you know, of not having it with me. I went to the showing. I caught all my fish on a drop shot. Some fish came up schooling, and I couldn't catch them on anything. And I put that thing on. I didn't have it tied on. I had to borrow one from Bobby Lane because he had them with him, but I didn't even bring them in the boat. And then, you know, I was already doing pretty good in the tournament, whatever, like gonna make my round, all this, but these fish came up school, and I'm like, I need to try and catch one. I throw a freaking jig head minnow on the Chowan River and catch a 4-pounder. I'm like, this is stupid.
You know, but why is it stupid? It's the most effective technique. Is it just because of how it looks, or what makes it stupid? Because no one said this is stupid about a chatterbait. No one said this. Well, the Cinco people were trying to wrap their head around, but I mean, it seems like guys have either completely embraced it. You take it an Alec Morrison, Jacob Wheeler, or you have guys that are like, really? We're crappie fishing now?
No, I mean, dude, I've caught so many fish on it this year. It's ridiculous. But there's just like, there's nothing that I feel when I do it. To be honest with you, there's nothing that I caught 37 pounds at Santee Cooper on it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for 5, I had 6 for 42, whatever. Like, the best day of fishing I've ever had on it. And then I look back at my second best day of fishing 11 years ago at Lake Fork when I caught them without it, and I had 35 pounds. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm more proud of the 35 pounds without scope than 37 with it on a minnow. Like, I mean, obviously it catches fish. I have to do a job. I have to feed my family.
Yeah.
So I am not gonna not use this thing. I'm not dumb. But when I say it's so stupid, it's just dumb. Like, dude, it's so dumb that the most simple thing ever never used to be a thing for bass, and now it is. It
Is
was.
that not the way it's going though? I mean, as long as there's a unit, as long as there's forward facing sonar in tournaments, uh, will that be the king? I mean, dude, we're just getting into this thing, and I had Wheeler on earlier this year. He talked about the curve of the peak, and he thinks we're still 2 years away from the minnow peak. I think we're seeing the drop shot actually on the downturn now. I can't tell you how many guys I've interviewed that have been like, dude, they hate a drop shot now, which is crazy to think of. But I mean, most of those are the minnow guys. But I mean, this thing is like here to stay. Your title sponsor just came out with the drip minnow at ICAST, and if you were at ICAST, I mean, wasn't it Minnow Central and Jighead Central where you had guys going, "Oh, look at the lead on the shaft."
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. It's here to stay as long as forward facing is here. And it's a technique that honestly I look at and I watch how fish react to it now, and I'm like, man, I probably could have caught some fish, especially on TVA on ledges and stuff, like letting this thing sink to the bottom and shaking it slowly back. I could have caught some fish on it. But yeah, it's just I don't know, man. It doesn't. I would just you know I would rather catch them on top or flipping or whatever. Like, I just am very thankful I got to experience professional fishing before forward facing.
Well,
Just to be a part of that and and everything, because it has changed now, and you have to be, like I said, I don't care what anybody says. You're saying it based off the points and the top tens of all these guys and everything. You have to be a very good one-dimensional fisherman right now to compete. There's no versatility.
do you think? And we'll put a bow on this because I feel like we've had a healthy discussion here, not like a controversial discussion, just a healthy discussion about it.
Yeah.
Do you think you will ever compete in an era where there will not be forward-facing sonar again?
Man, I have no idea. No idea. If there were some tournaments that had no forward facing and I could sign up, I probably would. But I don't, like I said, I mean, I don't know what the answer is, dude. I can't sit here. I've acted like I knew an answer plenty of times before and proved myself wrong. And so I don't have an opinion for an answer. But I think I think it's healthy for the sport to not forget where 50 years, where we're at after 50 years, because the last 4 years are totally, totally different than the first 50 or whatever it was. So that's all. I mean, dude, I love watching Skeet Reese win at the James River throwing a crankbait around docks. Like, that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool. So
yeah,
but that's what I grew up watching.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm different, and I'm 38.
Maybe there's a 15-year-old out there that just can't get enough of Alec Morrison shaking a minnow and Wheeler throwing the
16-year-old like watching Skeet Reese throw a crankbait around docks, and he's thinking that's stupid, So all good. Like, I think this was a good discussion. Hopefully nobody, I'm not trying to make anybody mad. I'm just saying a couple of my opinions. I think they're fair. But like I said, I don't know the answer. So,
like I said, I know you have a haircut to get to before you head up there. So we're gonna go straight through for the next 10 minutes and then take a break, and I'll come back and kind of digest it. But you just finished up ICAST. I talked about your kind of foray into the non-endemic world of sponsorships. Skeet kind of dove into this a little bit. I thought he had some very interesting points with it. But in your opinion, coming off of ICAST, as one of the top sponsored anglers in the game, I'm hearing a lot of people saying, "Oh, this industry, everyone's at everyone's throat. There's industry fatigue. It's all based on controversy. Tournament fishing is going downhill." what's the deal with that? What's your vibe? And where is our sport as a whole, not just individuals or leagues, in your opinion, as a veteran angler now?
I'm glad, like I said a minute ago, I'm glad I got started when I did. I think it's a really, I don't know if it's a harder road because it was hard when I started, and it was, it was hard for everybody to make it then. It's just a different road now with the cost of expenses, the amount of people doing it. So sponsor dollars get spread out all over the place. It's just a different time, man. I got started, I think this is my 14th or 15th year. So it's been a while. And I don't know, my opinion, I feel like I can really, I don't feel like I can change anything. So I sit there and, you saw my 6-year-old try and come in here in the office, and I got another 2-year-old in there, and I got a wife. So my opinion the past several years now has been, just do what I need to do to make a living, and provide for my family and have a positive impact on the sport. That's my thing. Like, I want, when people meet me, when I have conversations with people, I want them to, correlate all that or relate all that to, this guy has a positive impact on the sport. He represents it well, and he represents the sponsors well. And that's another thing for me, dude. Like, I'm at the point now, like, not that I don't, I don't want more, not that I don't want more sponsors, but I'm so thankful for what I've had, what I've been able to keep for several years. And I love everything I use, like, that I don't want any of that to change. So I'm trying really hard to continue to keep these sponsors happy, because I love everything that I use so much. So that's really important too. Like, I'm very comfortable. I'm not trying to get paid more to go leave and run something else or use something else. Like, I love every piece of product that I have in my shop. So that's a comfortable spot when you can say that. Like, I'm saying that as in, like, I'm not chasing the money. I'm to the point where I've made a decent living at this, made some money, been able to save, put money away, and provide for my family. And, like, not trying to change my lifestyle as being a bass fisherman. Because at the end of the day, you're not gonna make millions. You got to do other stuff other than, you got to take your money that you can make in fishing. You got to invest it, maybe do some side businesses. You got to do something to make, next level money if you're going to be a fisherman.
That's fair. Is the General Tire Team Series the future of this? I know MLF put a lot into it this year as far as live coverage. Actually added live coverage to that, took away from the BPT. It's aired on the TV. What are your thoughts on that? And is that something that you think is going to stick? And what do the anglers think about that too? I'm curious as to what you guys think about the Team Series stuff in such an individual sport.
I haven't heard any negative things from anybody about it. I think it's actually going to be pretty fun because now we don't have those goofy headsets and we're not in separate boats. So you're actually fishing with your teammate on the front of the boat. And I think that's going to be pretty cool.
Wait a second. Walk through the format then again of what it actually is now.
So it's the same as the old cups.
Okay.
Imagine the original cups, except there's two guys on the front of the boat fishing together.
Okay.
So
like a team tournament.
That's what it is. Yeah. But man, that's one more thing I'll say about forward facing, dude, is like, are we going to stand up there like every guy when I drive by Gunnersville or every boat, there's two guys standing on the front of the boat?
No, dude. So I fished the Bass Nation Regional at, you're good to go for Champlain. Like, you don't have anything left on that, right?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
So I'm scoping big time. And the first two guys I have the like, hey man, like, I'm 2,000 miles from home. Once I hit 20, I'll get up there and get you your fish, but it is what it is.
Right.
And so I give that speech to my third day guy. Hey, we made the national championship. We made the cut, blah, blah, blah. Here's what I suggest. And he goes, hey, you mind if I bring my live scope? And I said, really? he said, yeah, I got a portable unit. And I said, freaking have at it, bud. Like, I'm curious to see how this works. This kid's 24 years old, saw it on TikTok, went out, built it, had a 32 on a stick with a RAM mount, takes him 20 seconds to deploy it. He sat in the back while I scoped. I make a cast about every 10 minutes. He came in with like 3 for 10. And it was so efficient in the back. Like a couple times I'd hear him go, ooh, ooh, ooh. And I'd be like, you're on one? And he's like, no, I'm watching you about to catch one. And I had no interference.
Did it not interfere with your unit?
Zero interference,
Cool.
nothing at all. And then, like, when I caught one, I'd look at the school and I'd be like, blast him, because they'd be sitting under the boat and, he'd pan around and flip out there. And I think that's where the future is for co-angling, or for, dude, even the team series. Like, I think that's where the future is.
Well, you won't catch me bringing a second one out there. Like, Nick Hatfield's on my team. That's who I picked. And we're going to go out there and we're going to have a good time. And if we got to take turns looking at the front screen, that's fine.
It's two-man teams now.
Yeah, two-man teams. So me and Nick.
Well, that's fun. Yeah, that's like that's actually, yeah.
I think it's going to be really good TV. I think people have been wanting to see pros fish together on the front of a boat for years. But I'll say this, I don't know if they want to see them scoping on the front of the boat together, two guys with both their heads down.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, I'd love to be able to catch them another way with Nick, but if we got a scope, we got a scope. So it's no problem.
Last question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like I've been asking you a lot of like big picture questions, so I'll end with like the bigger picture question. You can get the entire industry, every angler, everyone who has a part to do with it, to get on the same page about something for 2024 and 2025. We all agree there's no more back and forth, whatever. We're all on the same page, working towards the same thing. What is that one thing?
Oh, what is that one thing?
Is that a fair question?
Yeah, dude. What is the one thing to get everybody, the whole industry,
working on the same page about something? We can all disagree or have different opinions about a bunch of different things, but the one thing that you think would be the most beneficial for the sport if you could get everybody on board with.
Oh gosh, that's a question you should have texted me ahead of time.
Have I ever texted you questions ahead of time?
I haven't, but that's a strong one.
I might ask that to everybody now.
Dude, I don't know. At the end of the day, I would love to see, one tour. That would be probably my main thing. I would love to see there be one main professional tour, like every other sport for the most part. But I don't know if I'll even be around, or like if I'll still be fishing by the time that happens. Who knows?
You're not going to Rick Clun it?
It would be cool. I'm not Rick Clunning it. There's no way. There's no way. There's no chance. Respect to him, man. That is unbelievable. But no, I'm not. I think 55. I always said 50, and I'm like, gosh, I'm 38 now. So, like, yeah, that's cool. He's the man, dude. Super.
Always will be.
But I always said 50. Now I'm 38. So I feel like 55 is, that's a good number. Heck, Skeet just won on his 55th birthday. And
he was so pumped about it.
So I'm trying to stay in shape so I can do it for a while, but I don't want to do it till I'm 80. That's for sure.
Did you pick up Yeti?
No, I just like the hat.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know where I got the hat, but I normally wear this red and white Berkeley hat a lot.
Yeah, I know.
It fits really good, and I gave my last one away the other day, so I'm out of my good fitting hats, and this one fit.
Have you noticed the trend? All these youngsters are going to the rope hat, like the one that like Polinick started wearing like 4 or 5 years ago, but now like everyone's on this rope hat trend.
Trendsetter, dude.
What?
Polinick is the trendsetter, so it doesn't surprise me. All the kids are going rope hat now. Polinick.
I've only got one that I like. I got like a Sunline rope hat that fits my head right.
I don't think I have a power pole one actually.
Yeah,
I do have a power pole. But anyway, good talk. Right. Good talk. I hope you're having a great time in Scotland, dude.
I hope so too. I have. It's kind of like a little bit. It's my 40th birthday in August, which is hard to believe too. Like when you talk about, you have your 7-year-old walk in the door and stuff. It's pretty interesting.
So who are
Interesting
you going
time. My girlfriend, Court.
with? Just the two of you?
Yeah, so she's a flight attendant. You met her at
The classic.
Crest so yeah, at the classic, and so we're gonna head over there. Like I think we have to go to Boston first, and then into Edinburgh, and then like the whole. There's fishing isn't like huge in Scotland. I have figured that out. Like there's some pike, there's some salmon, there's some stuff over there, but it's not like
not Sweden or Iceland.
Yeah, it's not like that where like they get. I would love to do like a trip over there. I want to hit like the Wells catfish and then like those Xander, which are like the giant walleye, and then as much of a perch fiend as I am, I'd like to catch those like 6-pound jumbo yellow perch that they call something else, but that's like definitely a bucket list trip for me.
Yeah, those things are huge. That would be fun. That would be super fun.
So, well, good luck. Well, not good luck. I hate saying good luck. Make good decisions. Have a good week, and close out the season strong up at Thousand Islands. I know it's a place that is special for you as well as a bunch of other people. And the cool thing is that's like a kind of one place where you pretty much don't have to worry about getting bit.
Yeah, you're not getting bit there, man. You might want.
You got some major issues going on in your life.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, cool, dude. Have fun, and we'll catch up when you get back. And thanks for having me on, as always, dude.
All right, thanks, Justin. See you.
All right, see you.
All right, that is the one and only Justin Lucas. I always try to get him on 2-3 times a year. So there we go. As he closes out the year, looks like he's well on his way to another top 10 finish in the BPT standings. We'll take a final break. When we come back, kind of unwrap some of the things that he said. It is BTL. We'll be back right after this.
The new Puma STS has been redesigned from the ground up. With the angler, design, function, and performance in mind, nothing on this new offering was compromised, and the only thing carried over from the previous version is the name. Based on the Soft Touch series hull that started with the flagship Jaguar, this new model is nimble and performs incredibly well at all speeds with either a 250 or 300 horsepower engine. Featuring a new 96-inch wide-body footprint, this hull measures out at 20 foot 7 inches in length. Industry-leading design coupled with tournament-winning performance. The Puma STS from Basscat. Feel the rush.
Your early morning mentality is your every hour mentality. All gas, no brakes. Focus, purpose, power. Destined for the water, but confident everywhere else. A calming buzz before the storm, truth of nature itself. You can't catch lightning in a bottle. There's a limit out there, but it's not with your gear. Unrelenting power delivery. Unparalleled weight savings. Keeping you on the water, whether you run a 9.9 or outscoping your best 5. In this rare air, there's power in the silence. It's a mindset, thinking only of the things that matter and freeing your mind from the things that you trust.
Get the best patterns backed by tournament data. Start by finding the best 10% of your lake. Know exactly what to look for and what to throw. After that, just put them in the boat. Try the Deep Dive app today.
Look at that beast right there.
Gamakatsu, the innovation leader in fish hooks, is launching Nano Alpha technology in 2024. Nano Alpha is a new finish available on Gamakatsu's most popular hook styles. It delivers 2 times slicker performance, 4 times better corrosion resistance. Nano Alpha technology makes the world's greatest fish hooks even better in 2024 to help anglers catch more fish.
Born in Japan, using technology, innovation, and precision, Sunline produces the widest selection of fishing lines at the most technologically advanced line factory in the world. Manufactured at the strictest tolerances to produce victories at the highest levels of tournament bass fishing. From household names like Christie, Swindle, and Cruz, to young guns like Cook, Logan, New, and Welcher, they all trust Sunline to take them to the top of the leaderboard. Choose the line that will give you the strength to guarantee your confidence. Sunline.
Yes.
Fishing isn't just a hobby, it's an obsession. Whether it's blazing hot or bitterly cold, bright sunshine, raining, or even snowing, someplace, somewhere, there's a fish that's ready to bite. And as the angler, you need baits that will catch the fish anywhere, anytime, no matter the conditions. From throwing top waters to cranking the depths, know the baits to throw. Choose Spro.
Denali Fishing has me covered on the Bassmaster Opens, from their line of high-end rods, from the Android series all the way to the TAC series, the Novus series bait casting reels, all the way to the Covert series of tungsten in the cylindrical and the teardrop shapes. Denali has everything to keep me covered, whether I'm finesse fishing for smallmouth on the Great Lakes or flipping for largemouth in the slop down in Florida. The complete lineup is always on my deck and in my. Have you considered purchasing new electronics for your rig? The type of mounts you choose to protect your investment should be part of the decision-making process. No matter if you prefer 1, 2, or 3 graphs up front, Beatdown Outdoors has a solution for you. Adjustable, versatile, rigid, and made in the USA. What's your ultimate electronics setup? Check out the full selection of Beatdown Outdoors products by visiting beatdownoutdoors.com. All right, wrapping things up here. Big shout out to Justin Lucas. So when we recorded this, so he was like in Destin on a family vacation, agreed to do this and record it at like 7 in the morning, and then head to Thousand Islands after his haircut. So much respect for Justin for carving out time to talk very candidly kind of about the industry, about fishing, about his career and where he is in it. It's hard to believe, there's a whole group of guys. If you look at kind of this week, I tried to kind of schedule it. Obviously, because of the timing with Alec Morrison winning the Invitational Angler of the Year this past or 2 weeks ago on Lake St. Clair, and then Skeet, and then Justin, 3 very different generations of anglers in 3 very different parts of their careers. Like I said, with Skeet, with his fishing hero being Rick Clunn, like who knows? I could see Skeet just continuing to do it. He seems like he still has the passion for it. He definitely has the ability, the financial means, the drive, and the talent. But he's well established, decades into it. You have Justin Lucas, 38 years old, in the prime of his career, and then Alec Morrison, who's just fishing every single day, can't get enough of it, just coming off of his rookie year, which also resulted in Angler of the Year and a spot in the BPT. So definitely some different perspectives from all 3 of those anglers kind of as we wind down the 2024 season, and what I think is going to be one of the most interesting off seasons since I started covering this game in 2008. We're going to have multiple rule rulings. We're going to have multiple rulings when it comes to technology and forward-facing sonar on a number of different fronts. It'll be very interesting to see what Bassmaster does, what MLF does right now. I would venture to say there's a little bit of a poker game going on, because one of the ways to differentiate yourself is to do the opposite of what the other main organization is doing. So I don't know, who has to show their cards first. It obviously has to be done sooner rather than later, because you have a lot of logistics as far as the companies being able to manufacture and have out what will be legal in 25. How far does that trickle down go? Does that go down to the nation, the opens, and obviously the elite series? But then on the MLF side, if they do anything, or even if they don't do anything, is there anything that goes all the way down to the BFL level? Then you also have to throw college and high school into there, because I mean, you have a collegiate angler that's fishing in the Bassmaster Classic now. So a lot going on in this off season. Skeet was very candid this week when he talked about the shift in tackle sales, in rod and reel sales, going from 70% bait casters to 70% spinning rods over the last couple of years. I know, Gamakatsu coming out with the Horizon heads. There's been definitely, a shift in hooks and jig heads and baits. And I don't think anyone actually knows, where this is going to happen. And then, you've got, Alec and Drew Gill, or these guys who are going, yeah, well, it's a natural progression of the sport where you have, instead of 6 different styles of crankbaits, you'll have 6 or 7 different styles of minnow, 6 or 7 different styles of all these. And it's the same thing. It's just, you're going to be spending your money on different stuff, and it's an adapt or die. And the goal is to go out and either catch the most weight possible or the biggest 5 possible. And if these are the tools that we have to do it, why wouldn't we do it? And, we are not using what we used in a man's jelly worm and a jitterbug anymore. Like, that stuff all transitioned into more efficient, more effective baits. And now that we have the technology to see where these fish live, as opposed to where we thought they lived prior, well, of course your tactics and your techniques and lures are going to change to target those fish most effectively. So not right, not wrong, not an argument, just a discussion. That's what I hope we bring to the table with Bass Talk Live here, is a intelligent discussion that brings the fans that this sport means so much to, and the anglers who make a living at the game, and the industry insiders who kind of make the whole thing revolve. That's all I'm shooting for. And I greatly appreciate the candid and the time of all of these anglers as they travel around the country to jump on BTL for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and kind of sort it all out. So that's all we got for today. Big shout out to Justin Lucas. Thanks for jumping on, all the other guests over the past couple of weeks. We'll talk to everybody later. See ya.